Well, hello everybody! Welcome to the first ever KaiserKillers Podcast. My name is Jim Verdana. I'm sat here with the boys from KaiserKillers. That's Johnny and Andy. How are you doing today, guys?
Hi there.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Now listen, boys. We're going to go and talk about some of the songs that you've been recording. We're going to go into a little bit of the background of those songs. But firstly, I gotta ask you, when I'm out on the road and I'm talking KaiserKillers to various people in the industry, the same thing I'm always asked. Where's the name come from? KaiserKillers. What is that? Why are you called KaiserKillers?
It's a long story. Well, it's not really. We've a love for the Beatles, haven't we? We've got a big love for the Beatles.
Yeah, I know those guys.
And when we kind of got back together again, and we talked about getting a band together, we said, well, what are we going to call ourselves? Because bands have been in before. We can spend weeks and weeks trying to think of some interesting name. And Andy came up with it straight away. The KaiserKillers. That's it. Exactly. Within the kind of millisecond. And it's...
Well, we went through a few things, didn't we? KaiserKiller was one, wasn't it? KaiserKillers. Because we've been listening to a bootleg of Beatles at the Star Club in Hamburg in 1962 and been singing along merrily after a few whiskies. So
the
that was one of the things
band I used to manage.
I said KaiserKiller, and you goes, well, what about KaiserKillers?
Oh, sure. Well, I thought you were cool with
that. Between us, we came to it.
I'm better than I thought.
I think we polished one another's ideas off.
I beg your pardon?
If we do one or two ideas. I think the Hip Kiddies was going to give me one idea, maybe, as we were going to be.
I think that was one, yeah.
But,
that was one that you had in your locker. I think you had a book, didn't you, that had about 15 different names of imaginary bands that you could have formed.
I had a long list, that's right. Yeah.
We could probably dig that out and let you know them all if you want to know that, Jim.
Yeah. Well, thank you, boy. Thank you for that explanation. That is a mystery solved, I've got to tell you. When I'm out on the road, that's what I'm going to tell people. But now, to move on to the next part of this, I want to drill down into some of the songs. And I know your new single is coming out soon. That's Love Conquers All. But your most recent single, firstly, if we look at that is Saints Preserve Us. So what is that about? What's this song about, Andy?
Well, the song is basically about our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who's a bit of a buffoon and is a liar, a habitual liar. He's done it before office and he's doing it in office. He just can't help himself. And he's making a complete
Isn't that treason?
idiot of himself. And the country's going to the dogs. What do you think, Johnny?
Well... That's true.
It's your lyrics.
But I think the kind of political lyrics are a little bit more recent, aren't they? The original song is kind of one of the first songs that I ever wrote. It's probably when I was about 17 or 18. And I had the kind of idea for Saints Preserve Us in my head. And I had the kind of the hook for that, which is what I brought to Andy, and that's how we kind of created the song.
That's sort of how we work, really, isn't it? We start with an idea, a chorus, a hook line, and then I build up chords to work with that, and then build up something
that one's a doozy
to go along with that.
I'll probably have an idea.
I gotta tell you,
hook. Probably some idea of what the lyrics are going to be. They won't always work out the way that I'd originally envisaged. And then that will build up and we'll come with the song. So that's how Saints Preserve Us started. It was an original song from way back when that I thought was only the hook and nothing else. But when we went back and looked at the big pile of lyrics, the kind of master copy of all the lyrics that I'd ever written, there was actually the whole song there with the rest of the words and the chords.
But that's a better song. I
stress that the more recent version is the better version. So.
I'm sure it is.
We started recording it one day, and then I worked a wee bit through the night, and when we got up the next day, it was quite a different song to what you'd last heard, hadn't you? And when you heard it, you went, I think I need to change my lyrics. We need to do something better with this. It deserves it. So
it was a different song, really.
So
it was a better interpretation.
Yeah,
and one that in which we had to add some lyrics that deserved the song.
Well, by the sound of it, that sounds like it's two songs. That could be a double A side, surely.
It probably could. Yeah. So it might be duplicating a little bit musically.
Well, we can maybe backtrack to that. Maybe that's one for the anthology.
That's a good idea, Jim.
You've got a new song coming out soon, which is "Love Conquers All," and we'll come out of that.
That's right, Jim.
We'll come out of that in a moment. But first of all, for the guys who listen to the podcast, I just want to drill down a little bit into the backstory of KaiserKillers. So, I mean, how do you two guys, Andy and Johnny, how did you meet? How did that come about? What's the story? How do you come to meet?
Women, Jim. It was women, wasn't it? A couple of bad experiences, really, wasn't it?
I think they're all bad experiences.
In fact, the best thing about those women was, for me, meeting Johnny. If
we never had those relationships, we would never have met each other.
No.
Would we? And the KaiserKillers would never be stomping onto the rock and roll
Praise be to those women.
Stage that they are now.
That's right. See, the girl that I was with, she was friends with Johnny's girlfriend, and she invited Mandy, it was, over to our house at the time. We lived together, and then Chris, of course, was in tow, and we got on like a house on fire right from the start.
Who is this guy?
Funnily enough, that very day I'd lost my hearing in my right ear. It's never returned, and that's to forever attribute that to Andy.
Well, then maybe you got your even better musical abilities like Brian Wilson and Beethoven. You know, they were all deaf in one ear. I think Beethoven might have been deaf in two ears, actually.
They might have been deaf in three.
You guys are killing me.
Yeah, so, these women, mine left the house and took my bed and half the furniture before I could change the locks on the doors. And
I'm going to tell you, I did tell Andy. I said, when she left, I said, change the locks, Andy.
Chris did warn me. And Johnny did too. Let me tell you.
Who is this Chris guy?
Johnny warned me. He said, change those locks. Don't trust that woman. Anyway. But Mandy also
don't trust that woman.
That's another song that's in the bag as well.
There's another
We've got another
single.
song. I also wrote, back in the 80s, this was when we met, the late 80s, and I wrote a song at the time from when I finished with my woman, and that was a very heartbreaking ballad called The Day That My Lover Ran Off With the Fishmonger from Huddersfield. A very heartbreaking song, that.
And it's one that's been lost, isn't it?
What is that?
Lost. The tapes got lost. The master tapes ended up in America, actually.
It's in America somewhere.
What state is it? Is it Connecticut?
It was Connecticut. It could be Virginia now.
That's a nice place.
And
don't mention Virginia.
That's a not so nice place.
That was the name of the girl that I was seeing when I met Johnny. Yeah, don't mention Virginia.
It's in the
American state.
In the United States. It's one of the United States is what it is. And that is where that tape is. And we need to track it down.
Yeah, so Jim, maybe you could put a shout out on the radio and get hold of that master tape for that song.
Well, guys, I'll do my best. I know quite a few jocks over there. I'm going to ask them. I'm going to ask them to put out an APB on that one. Okay?
If you would, Jim, that'd be great.
Hey, guys. I know in the next few days you have a new single that's going to be out, which is Love Conquers All. Now,
that's right.
That sounds like a sentimental smoochy ballad. Is that what the song's about?
It's not that at all, Jim. No. It's another political song. It's another song that refers to Brexit, about the Britain leaving the EU.
Brexit? What is that? What? We don't have that in San Bernardino. What is that?
No, you don't. You don't want it, Jim. You don't want it. That's when we left the European Union, and it's caused a big maelstrom. I'm trying to avoid saying the word shitstorm because that's what's normally
shitstorm.
It is a shitstorm though, so I'm not sure
it is a
how you
shitstorm.
can avoid saying it's shitstorm.
That sounds like a shitstorm.
It's been a total catastrophe, and I think it's going to be 30, 40 years before there's any chance of seeing anything back to where we were in terms of the economy. Yeah, it's a mess. No truck drivers. We can't even get chicken. I mean, how would the Americans go on if you couldn't get chicken?
Can't get no chicken?
Can't get no chicken, I tell you.
No chicken? No. What? I don't want to mention the brands, but hey, wait, no chicken? Oh, no, we can't do that.
No.
Hey, you got a terrible situation over there in the UK.
Oh, we do.
Because, listen, what people probably don't understand is I'm talking to you from San Bernardino. We're doing a Zoom call to create this podcast. We ain't even in the same continent. But hey, no chicken. Hey, that's a big deal where I come from.
It's a bad situation if you can't get no chicken.
No chicken.
No chicken.
Anyway, listen. Your new single, Love Conquers All. Is that an old single? Is it new? Is that something that's just come about, or is it something that's been about a while? What happened? Where's that come from?
Well, Johnny, I think it's another one, a similar tale, isn't it? It's an old song rehashed or a chorus.
It's another one from that probably the same session. Back in when I was a kind of a little kiddie of 17 or 18. It was probably one of the first songs that I wrote, and the band that was in at the time.
Who was that at the time, Johnny?
That would have been the Chaos Brothers.
The Chaos Brothers, huh?
Yeah, I know those guys.
I brought the song to the table and said, I've got this song, it's called Love Conquers All. And they go, Love Conquers All? That sounds like a sissy song. We're not keen on that. That sounds rubbish. So it never got any further, but I always felt that it was a song that had great merit. And
see, I'm learning something myself here, Jim.
Nothing.
I didn't know this.
I never abandoned that. I never abandoned the song. And then it came back in this most recent session where I brought it to the table when me and Andy were writing new stuff. And I said, well, I've got this song, and I've probably only got kind of the hook, which is Love Conquers All. But again, pretty much like the previous song, where we actually delved back to the kind of a Library of Congress archives of
Library of Congress?
Actually, it was actually a complete pre-formed song, man, with all the chords, all the lyrics and everything.
Yeah, Jim, Johnny's got a number of books absolutely stuffed full of lyrics. There's probably 3 or 4 albums in there.
I think we should go through this.
I think the guy must have just written lyrics for the entirety of the 80s.
I think
I'm going to be busy for some time, I can see.
A lot of them. It's gosh, I must have been so depressed for all of my life. So I don't think a lot of them are really particularly usable. A lot of really, I love you, you love me, I'm going to slash my wrists. A lot of that going on.
Perhaps you could sell them to Coldplay.
Probably a good percentage of
that's some of the best songs are like that, aren't they? Some of the best songs. But we'll probably do some of those at some point. But for now, we're keeping it upbeat. We're liking the upbeat songs.
That's what I like to hear.
3-minute power pop ballads, aren't we?
We like songs that grip people in the first 20, 30 seconds.
That's what we're trying to specialise in, is the 3-minute power pop ballads.
Just nobody's got any concentration now, Jim, in this century. Everyone thinks over the
what was that you saying?
Nobody's got any patience.
I can't even remember who we
Channel
talking
hopping.
about.
You know,
Jim? Who is it, Jim?
I think I think most people were like streaming. They're listening to 10 seconds of a song and moving on. So what you've got to do, you've got to grab them. You've got to hook them.
Grab that ball.
Come on.
15
Come on.
seconds or so.
You know you got me hooked, man.
That's what we're
you
trying to
know
do.
it.
Some certain appendage.
Have we got you hooked, Jim?
Hey, man, you've always got me hooked. You know everywhere I go. I represent you all over the world.
You know
because
it.
You know
Jim.
it.
Thank you, Jim. You keep spreading the word. Spread the good
Hallelujah.
word of the Kaiser-Killers all over America, Jim.
That's what I do.
Thank you, Jim. You tell the world.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, brother.
Oh, you boys and your chicken. Hey, you want to look at that Brexit? I don't think that's a good thing. We got plenty of chicken in the States. Let me tell you now, we got plenty of it.
We could be coming over there before long, Jim, at this rate.
And we would welcome you boys over in the United States of America.
Thank you, Jim. You're such a good soul, you are. Good soul.
Listen, what I want to know is, the KaiserKillers are a fairly new act. But you boys have been around a while. Where did the KaiserKillers come from? What went before? Because you talked about you guys working on music in the 80s. What happened? Tell me a little bit about that time.
Yeah, Jim. Yeah. We skimmed over that a bit, didn't we? We need to rewind a bit. So yeah, let's cut back to the 80s. About 86 was it when we first started, Johnny?
87, I think, when we first produced any music together. 87.
Yeah, I think what was our first song? Forever Falling.
The first song was.
What was it?
It was
what's
Burning
fun?
Baby.
Oh, Burning Baby.
I'm burning,
baby, on fire for your love.
That was the first thing we ever. I'm liking it.
Burning baby, a burning baby, a burning baby.
That's one of my favorites.
I think that went on 7 minutes. I don't know why it went on 7 minutes. It shouldn't have gone on 7 minutes.
I was very kind of. I loved Generation X back in the day, and I was still kind of. I know those boys. Billy Idol fan.
Oh yeah, there was some Billy Idol ad libs and mannerisms, weren't there, in that?
Some great Billy Idol stuff going on there.
He sung the whole song with his one corner of his lip up, Elvis Presley like.
Yeah. You can't see that. You can't see. You boy, kill me. Audio, can you? That's what's terrible about music. You can't see the turned up lip on the audio. Yeah. What is that? This modern days of technology.
That was the first song, wasn't it? Desert of the Night. That was a bit of a sad song. Well, it was a bit morose, wasn't it? That was Desert. Desert of the Night. She comes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I think Shit is one of them.
It was, wasn't it? And then there was Forever Falling. That was another one.
No, that came later. No, we did quite a few songs that I think the first song where we kind of hit it.
Forever Falling was when we were in Martin's dad.
Martin's dad, yeah.
We had a drummer then.
I know those boys. The first song where we really hit it, we thought, oh well, I think this is really working. This is a really good song. Was Isolation.
Yeah, Isolation was quite a strong song, and we've started to cover that again as well. As the KaiserKillers, we've had an attempt at doing that.
I did a more kind of modern interpretation of it, and added a verse to it as well. That's true. Kind of account.
So we've improved it.
Account for the lost years, if you like.
So we had a period making songs just ourselves, recording 2 tracks live, and then
weren't you the Isolationists?
And
the Isolationists.
With the Isolationists, and then record a second track. 2 tracks live and overdub onto the tape at the same time. Crude machinery in those days, cassettes and cheap reel-to-reels.
Reel-to-reels, yeah.
And then after that it was Martin's dad, wasn't it? That was when we got a drummer. How do we get the drummer? How do we get Martin?
We advertised in the Huddersfield Daily Examiner.
Oh, yeah.
For
is that really a thing?
And a drummer. And our influences were JMC, Jesus and Mary Chain, and
I know those boys.
Some other stuff that we weren't really into, but we just put down what we thought people might kind of be attracted to in the adverts.
And that's how we got Mick as well.
And that's how we got Mick.
So we got Mick Stead, who's has a reputation in Hull bands with the Luddites, and then him and his brother were in the Luddites.
I know those boys.
His brother became the drummer of Beautiful South.
I didn't realise, it's only recently Andy told me, that the Luddites actually had a couple of Peel sessions.
Yeah, they had a couple of Radio 1 sessions.
Oh, shit. I'm not sure I would have been able to show my face if Mick Stead otherwise, if I'd known that.
And a single in the Festive 50, in John Peel's Festive 50.
Jesus.
The renowned DJ.
You're rubbing it in now. I didn't even know that.
So, that was a band. And we used to rehearse in my little house in Huddersfield.
And you had a very forgiving neighbour, didn't you?
I did, yes. We had a drum kit in the living room and a big bass system. And we used to play and record live. So we recorded Heavenly in Black.
And Forever Falling. And the Gang of Four cover.
And we did the Gang of Four. I found that Essence Rare.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much close to everything we did in the 80s, isn't it? There might have been another odd one maybe somewhere that we've forgotten.
But we were fucking shit hot.
We weren't bad.
We should have gone on to be part of the kind of Manchester Revolution is what we should have been, because
we should have been spearheading it.
Because we obviously we're from the Manchester.
We could have been Britpop, couldn't we?
We could have been.
If I had gone away and done dentistry in Bristol,
don't ask me.
If we'd carried on playing for 5 years, we'd have probably been bang on.
No, I can't say fucking.
Bang on for Britpop.
Talk to me about teeth.
We love teeth in the US.
We'd have probably been better than Oasis.
We were better than Oasis back in the day. And I don't drift away, but never fear, folks, because we're back with vengeance.
We're back, Jim, and we're going to do it for you.
Guys, I know you're back because I listen to your music. I listen to it all the time, and I know you're back. I know
you plug us and you tell all the world about us, and we're getting loads of feedback from what you're saying about us, all the good things you're saying about us. We just love you, Jim.
I can't help but give feedback, because everywhere I go, I tell people how fantastic the KaiserKillers are.
Thank you, Jim.
And,
Thank you, Jim.
We're going from strength to strength. Listen, it's been good talking to you guys, and we've got much more to talk to you about in future podcasts. But hey, we're going to wind it up for the moment. We got to give these guys a rest. So listen, one word for the fans of KaiserKillers. What are you going to tell them? What are you going to tell the fans of KaiserKillers? What are you going to tell them?
We're going to say stay tuned, because you've got loads more great songs coming up. We're going to try and give you one word. New classic single every single month for the whole year. That's 12 singles that are going to blow your mind. And then there's going to be an album coming up shortly after that. We're going to compile all the best. So just hang on, stay in there, stay true, listen to us on Bandcamp and Spotify and Shazam us and do everything you want, and Twitter us, and we'll be there, and we're going to blow your mind. I'm telling you, just stick with us. What do you think, Johnny?
I think you should just stick with us, is what I say.
Stick with us. Yeah, and we're going to all Liverpool.
So, ta-ra for now.
Ta-ra, ta-ra-la. Okay.
And we'll see you again in the next podcast.
See you in the next podcast.
Bye.
You guys are killing me. Now, you're from Liverpool now. Oh, who knew it? Listen, I'm going to carry on spelling the word of the KaiserKillers all over the world. And I want you to join me back for the next podcast from the KaiserKillers, because they're a fantastic band and they're going places. Come on, join me again, Jim Verdana from San Bernardino, California. Bye for now.